Listen, after the day, I don't want you to settle no more, right? After the day, I don't want you to settle in your relationships. After the day, I don't want you to settle in your financial situation. I don't want you to settle in your health situation. I don't want you to like. I don't want you to settle spiritually. After the day, I don't want you to settle in no more areas in your life. And the reason why I'm saying settling because like so many of us are just settling because for one, that's a self issue, right? It's a self-worthy issue. And another thing, you don't really understand God, right? You know God, but you don't understand God. And listen, I get it because that was me, y'all. That was me. Right? Like I knew who God was, but I didn't understand God. And because I didn't understand God, I settled in relationships, right? I settle for wages that I know I should be getting paid, right? I settled for a car that I didn't want. I settled for a house that I didn't want, right? I have settled for so long in my life all because I didn't know who God was. I didn't understand. I knew who God was, but I didn't understand who God was, right? And I'm here to tell you today, after the day, I don't want you to settle no more in your life. After the day, I don't want you to settle no more in your life. Stop settling in that relationship, right? The reason why you're settling in that relationship because you have no self-worth. You feel like you can't go, you feel like you don't deserve a spouse that treats you right? That loves you, that protect you, that profess you, that listen to you, that care about you, like that's there for you. Like you feel like so many of us are just settling for so many people that we know we don't deserve to be with or should be with, right? We know we don't deserve like the need to be in those relationships, but we settle because we don't know we don't understand who God is, and we have self-worthy issues. We have self-worthy issues. But today I want that to stop. Today I want you to get closer to God. I want you to build a closer relationship with God. I want you to understand your self-worth. I want you to understand who God is, not just know who God is, but understand who God is, right? And so the reason why, watch this, y'all, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it say, then God said, let us make mankind in our image, right? I don't know about you, but listen, I know God is my father and God is your father, right? And like he want the best for his kids. He say, let's create mankind in our image, right? That means we are a spitting image of God, and God don't settle for nothing. Like God only want the best things in life. Like God has never settled all throughout the Bible. Like God don't settle. God want the best, and I ain't settling for something that if you can't bring me the best, I'm not settling for that. If he or she can't bring you, can't provide the relationship that you're looking for, like find somebody that can fit your standard. Like if that ain't the car you want, like find the car that you like. Find the car that you want. Like don't settle in your cars no more, right? Let me tell y'all what settling look like. So I remember when I bought my Volkswagen, and like my whole life, like bro, I just want me a Camaro, bro. Like I really wanted that Camaro, right? My partner had just caught the Camaro. I'm like, bro, I really want that Camaro. And so me and my mom, we rolled up to Dry Time. We rolled up to Dry Time, and we went to Tallahassee. So I never forget, y'all. I had like $1,200 on me, right? I felt like I was balling. I had like $1,200 on me. I felt like I was doing my thing. Went to the car lot, and like I couldn't get the car that I really wanted. I couldn't get the car that I really wanted. So I ended up settling. Watch this. I ended up settling for this Volkswagen. Right? Ain't I settling for this Volkswagen? No, I don't want the car, but I'm so desperate. I'm so, like I want to pull off in something, so I settled. Right? Because I ain't understand I didn't understand who God was, and therefore, and if I didn't understand who God was, I don't understand me because Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it say, then God said, let us make mankind in our image. If you don't understand God, you don't understand yourself. So, long story short, like I didn't understand God, and first of all, so I didn't understand who I was. And so I ended up settling for a car that I didn't want. And now I end up getting a 22% interest rate. I end up paying almost $40,000 for a $14,000 vehicle, a 2012 Volkswagen Passat, y'all. Settle. That's what settling looks like. And I want you to stop today because so many of us are settling in our lives. Like, no, you must not understand who you serve. You must not understand who your daddy is. Your daddy don't settle for nothing but the best, and you deserve the best. You deserve to have the best relationship. You deserve to have the best house. You deserve to have the best spouse. You deserve to have the best car. You deserve to have to be in the best shape you can be in. You deserve to have the best financial situation you can be in. You deserve the best. Why? Because you were made in the image of God. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image and our likeness, so they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals and all over the creatures that move along the ground. Listen, God made you rule over everything. Like God put you over the birds in the sky, the creatures, like God put you over the birds in the sky, the fish in the sea. Watch it, over the livestock and all the wild animals. Like God put you above all of this. Why? Because God knew you were the prize. God took his time when he made you, like you were his child. Like, I want you to understand something. Like, we all got children, right? I'm talking to my mothers and my fathers right now. I'm talking to my mothers and my fathers right now, right? Like, when you see your kids, when somebody say they'll spin an image of you, I'm pretty sure like we all want the best for our kids. You don't want your kids to be like selling, like have less. Like you want your kid to have the best. Like you want your kid to have the best, right? We do certain things and make certain sacrifices. Why? Because we don't want our kids to go through things that we went through in our childhood. So we sacrifice certain things and we do certain things today. Why? Because we don't want our kids to go through the things that we went through. We don't want them to have that same experience. And so listen, just how you care about your child, like God cared just that much about us. Because he our father. The same way you care about your kids and you want them to have the best life. Listen, God wants you to have the best life. Right? If you eat Ruth Chris, I'm pretty sure you want your kid to eat Ruth Chris. You don't want to be eating Ruth Chris and giving your kids McDonald's. That don't make sense. Why? They were made in your image. You were made in God's image. Like God is not gonna be like have all this livestock and have all this gold and have all this abundance and overflow and not give you and have you living in poverty. It don't make sense. Why would God be wealthy and have his kids in poverty? But some of us is not. Watch this. And some of us like, well, why some of us living in poverty? They ain't got nothing to do with God. They ain't got nothing to do with God. Because like that's a self issue. That's a self issue. God don't lie. Like God gonna always do his part. Like God gonna always hold up his end of the bargain. It's come like now it's a self issue thing. Like we got to get right with ourselves and say, listen, I'm a not just know God, but I'm gonna understand who God is, so I can go get everything that I deserve. So I can go get everything that God has promised me. So I can go get everything that God has ordained in my life. I got to go understand who God is first before I go understand who I am. And once I understand who I am, I ain't never got to settle no more in no area of my life. I never have to settle. No more settling, y'all. After today, no more settling. I don't know about you, but I'm not settling no more, y'all. I'm not settling no more in my relationships. I'm not settling no more for a car I don't want. I'm not settling for a house that I don't want. Like I'm going to get exactly what I want. Why? Because my God, he go get exactly what he wants. He don't settle. If you can't get the job done, he go find somebody who can. God, my God don't settle. My Father don't settle. Why should I? I was made in his image. According to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, then God said, let us make mankind in our image. Come on, man. I'm not settling. I'm God's child. I don't know about you, but now I understand who God is. And before I understand who God is, I understand who I am. Why? Because I was made in his image. You were made in his image. So I want to show y'all like how God doesn't settle. Come on, man. I want to show you, like, can I preach to you today? Like, can I give you a word today? Like, I want you to understand that God doesn't settle. Like God doesn't settle for nothing but the best. And you as God's child, we are as God's children, like we should be settling for nothing but the best. Watch this. In Leviticus chapter 1, verse 3. So I'm gonna give y'all a little background history. So in Leviticus, so God is talking to the Israelites, and like they're coming and give offerings, right? You know, you have tithes and offerings, so they're giving up offerings, right? So during the burnt offering, and God like, listen, I want nothing but the best. Like I want nothing but the best. Like you gonna offer me something, you gonna bring me something. Like I want nothing but the best. Because listen, watch this. This how God work, y'all. That's why I say the relationship between you and God also got to be mutualism. God said, I'm giving you the best. When I bless you, I'm gonna bless you. And so you're not finna have like, I'm not finna give you Ruth Chris and you bring me McDonald's. I'm not finna give you a multi-million-dollar blessing and you giving me minimum wage work. No, that like I need the relationship to be mutual. If I bring you the best, I need the best. Right? You're not gonna be bringing like I'm not gonna be spending millions of dollars on your gift and you bringing me a $10 gift. No, the relationship ain't mutual. I'm not benefiting from this. Right? So I want to show you that how God doesn't settle and why you shouldn't settle. I'm gonna show you in Leviticus chapter 1, verse 3. He say, watch this. So I'm gonna start at verse 1. So I'm gonna start at Leviticus verse 1. It said the Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting. He said, speak to the Israelites and say to them, when anyone among you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal for either the herd or the flock. So he telling them, listen, like, so in it, like, y'all gonna bring the offering. He telling Moses to relay the message to the Israelite. Listen, if y'all gonna bring me an offering, like I'm telling you, like you can bring the offering, but make sure you bring an animal either from your herd or your flock. And watch this though. This ain't what I'm geeked up about. I'm geeked up about this next verse. He said, if the offering is a burnt offering from the herd, you are to offer a male without defect. God said, no, you gonna bring me a good one too. Now I don't need no one with a leg. I don't need no animal with a leg messed up. I don't need no animal where he old and can't do no work. Like you gonna bring me a male without no defect. I'm not settling for nothing. Watch this. You must present it at the entrance of the tent of the meeting so that it will be acceptable to the Lord. Watch this. I'm not settling. Come on, y'all. We were made in the image of God. Why are you settling in life? God ain't settling. God said you are to bring me a male animal without defect. You are to offer me a male without defect. That's just telling me exactly what I want. Then watch what he tell him. He said, you must present it at the entrance to the tent of the meeting so that it will be acceptable to the Lord. Come on, man. Like I ain't settling for nothing. You gonna bring me a male? I want Pacifics. Like one thing about our God too. One thing about my Father, he is specific. He specific about what he want. And that's not. We gotta what you want. You gotta know exactly what you want. We got to get specific about our goals. Like we no longer can just say like I want to make six figures. No, put a number on it. Let's put a date on it, and let's get a strategic plan on how we're gonna make the six figures. Put a date on it. Put an amount on it. I don't want to make six figures. How much you want to make? I want to make 300,000. Right. My goal is to have my stock portfolio making me $300,000 a year. That's my goal. Right. I put a number on it. Right. Let's put a date on it. You know what I'm saying? Like let's set real goals and set real plans on how you're gonna attain those things. Because of the more the longer you keep talking about it and without no plan, it's just a dream at that point. Right? But the day we set real plans behind that dream, then become a vision. Once you set like real actionable steps and actionable plan that we can take action on, but all that talking and all that dreaming, right? It's merely just a dream, right? Until we like put some actionable steps behind it and put a real plan behind the thing that we say we want, that's when it become a vision. Until then, like we just dreaming at that point. We're just dreaming. So watch this, y'all. Watch this. Leviticus chapter 1, verse 10. I'm finna show you that how God doesn't settle. He said, if the offering is a burnt offering from the flock from either the sheep or the goats, you are to offer a male without defect. Come on, man. God is telling you, you are going to bring me a male without defect. Watch this. Verse 14. If the offering to the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, you are to offer a dove or a young pigeon. God is telling you exactly what he wants, bro. Why we don't know what we want? You made in the image of God. You should know exactly what you want. Most of us are lost and confused out here. Why? And settling. Another reason why you're settling, because you don't know what you want. So anything look like the right thing. Anything can be good to you. Why? Because you don't know what you want. God say, you going to bring me a bird? I need a dove or a pigeon. I'm not settling for no woodpecker. I'm not settling for no falcon. I need a dove or a pigeon. And if you can't bring the dove or a pigeon, I don't want the bird. I'm just telling you, like, you ain't got to bring the bird, but if you gonna offer me that, I'm telling you exactly what I want. Like, you saying you want to be in a relationship with me, like, I ain't listen. Knowing your relationships, what do you want? In your relationships, what do you want? Like, let the people know before we get in a relationship and waste time with each other. I'm gonna let you know exactly what I want. And if you can't meet that, all right, cool. I'm gonna go find somebody who can. In your house, know exactly what you want. How much you trying to spend? Like, well, how many bedrooms you want? Like, know exactly what you want, and don't settle for nothing else less than that. In your financial situation, know how much money you want to make. Like, know the exact amount. Like, and if that thing or whatever that job can provide that, listen, I go find somebody that can, or I go build me a business where I can produce that amount of money. Come on, y'all. Like, we gotta know exactly what we want, because God knows exactly what He wants. And I was made in the image of God. You were made in the image of God. That way, when you figure out what you want, you don't have to settle for nothing. And the reason why you are settling for so many things in your life, because you don't know what you want. So anything look like the right thing. Any relationship look like the right relationship. Any house look like the right house. And like any color like the right car. Any job look like the right job. Why? Because I don't know what I want. And today, if you can just figure out what you want, I promise you, that's half the battle. And we can stop settling for things, y'all. You can stop settling for these bad relationships. You can stop settling. Come on, man. Leviticus chapter 2, verse 1. When anyone brings a grain offering to the Lord, their offering is to be the finest flour. I'm going to read that again. He said, when anyone brings a grain offering to the Lord, their offering is to be of the finest flour. I'm telling you, and God say, I want the best. And God say, I want the best. I'm telling you, like, when I read this, y'all, I was like, ooh, I got geeked up. Why I got so geeked up? I was like, bro, I'm no longer settling in my life for nothing. The God I serve, my Father, He didn't settle for nothing. He said, you're going to bring me a bird. Like, whatever you offer me, I want the best at it. In all areas. If it's going to be a burnt offering, if it's going to be a grain offering, if it's going to be offering to the Lord, burnt offering of birds, like whatever it is, I want the best. And I say, you know what, God, you right. Like, I'm your son, and I should deserve. I deserve the best. I should have the best relationship. I should have the best job. I should have the best business. I should have the best spouse. I should have the best house. Like, I should have the best health. Like, I should have the best. Why? Because God is my dad, and I'm His son. When I was made in His image. You feel me? Like, I'm no longer settling, y'all. Why? Because I not just only know God, but I understand Him now. Yep. In the day you can figure out exactly what you want and know God and understand God, you can stop. You can stop settling too. You can stop settling too. My bad, y'all. I thought I heard something. It's all good. But you can stop settling too. Like, when you understand and know God, you can stop settling too. Like, today, I want that to stop today, y'all. I want you to say to yourself today, God, I'm no longer going to settle. I want you to say, I'm no longer going to settle in my life. I'm no longer going to settle for a relationship I know I don't deserve to be in. I know I don't need to be in. I'm no longer going to settle in my health. Right? Like, you deserve to be in the best health. Why? For your kids and for your spouse or for whoever. Or just for you. You should want to be in the best shape. Because when you feel good and you look good, you do good. Like, we no longer going to settle, y'all. I'm no longer going to settle for minimum wage. I'm no longer going to settle for poverty. I'm no longer going to settle for a job I know I don't need to be at and God keep telling me to leave. I'm no longer going to settle for the $20 an hour. My God is wealthy in abundance. I'm settling for $20 an hour. It don't make sense. Why am I settling for $20 an hour when my God is a God of abundance and overflow? My money should be overflowing too. Because why? I'm made in His image. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. He's like saying, my God, I don't know about you, I don't know what Bible you read, or I don't know what God you heard about, but the God I know, he has a hill on a thousand cattle on the hill. He owned the hill and the cattle. Like that's his wealth. That's abundance, y'all. Why I got to settle for $20 an hour? I know why. Because for one, I don't know what I want. And for number two, I have a self issue. And for number three, I don't know and I don't understand God. And I know God, but I don't really understand Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I don't really understand. I read Genesis, like I done heard people say, let God say, let us make mankind in our image and our likeness. Like I done heard that, but I really don't get it. Like I really don't understand it for real. You can't understand it for real. Why? Because you wouldn't be settling. My God knows God doesn't settle, y'all. Like God doesn't settle. I want us to know, that the day you can figure out what you want, and the day you can get closer to God, the day you can understand Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, the day you can really like emerge in that Bible verse and get closer to God, like you can start settling so many areas in your life. Because the God I know and the God I serve, he never settle. He don't settle. He deserve the best. He want the best. And if you can't bring the best, like I don't want it. Like God told him, if you're gonna bring me a burnt offering of birds, you're gonna give me a dove or a pigeon. I ain't settling for no falcon. I'm not settling for a chicken. I'm not settling for nothing. If you're gonna bring me that, I need a dove or the pigeon. You feel me? And I'm not settling for nothing else less than that. And so you, as God's child, we as God's children, we shouldn't settle for nothing but the best. It's like if somebody gonna be in a relationship with you, set a standard. If they can't bring you the best, I'll find somebody who can. And so I hope today, like you stop settling in your life. I hope today you make that commitment to say you no longer gonna settle in your financially, physically, spiritually, mentally, like relationships. Like I'm never gonna settle nowhere no more in my life. Why? Because the God I serve, my daddy, he never settled. And I hope today that you make that switch and say, God, I'm never gonna settle again because I not only know you, but I understand you now, God. I understand that you, my Father, and I were made in your image and your likeness. And I understand that if you deserve the best, like I deserve the best too, because I'm your son and I'm your daughter. And so, God, as we leave out today, like I pray that you continue to watch over us and bless us. I pray you continue to let us live to see many more mornings, many more birthdays, God. And let us not settle no more, God. And the reason why we were settling, God, because we didn't understand. We didn't know who you were. Like we didn't understand us. Like we didn't understand we were made in your image and your likeness, God. But I ask you that like you continue to guide us, God, like I know you will, and let us like start getting like everything that we deserve out of life. Like living life to the fullest potential because we were made in your image, God. Amen.